Right, I think we're ready to go. We're a bit late. Friday night 9-ball again. And we're underway. We've been going for about 5 minutes or so. Let's have a look at the bracket. And we'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we've got 12 in. We've got Larry playing Capo in the first round. Remember, it's handicapped, and Capo's getting the full 5 and out. Popman's got a bye. Stefan is playing Tommy U. Stefan's getting the 6 ball. That's the match we're going to get in and watch. Mark Sharp's got a bye. We've got Wizard Cheat playing the Worm. Wizard Cheat's getting 6 and out in that one. And DJ Redo has a bye. Wink at Me is playing Black Hole. That's a player I've never heard of. And Black Hole's getting 6 and out in that one, I think. And Irish Gaz has a bye. So straight away we'll go in and we'll have a look at the Stefan match. And Stefan's the one who's getting the 6 ball. Good evening. Right, something to check first. Yep, everything seems to be working okay. So, Tommy, you at the table. Already 1 rack down. Now, you can't make a mistake now because Stefan's money ball's still in the table, the 6 ball. And he's almost got there in the 7. I think he's overdone it, has he? No, he's okay. And should be just a formality. Roll in a 9 and we'll be all square. So this is a good opportunity for Stefan. See if we can hold it together. Needs to get that gap to the 3, which he's done. Going a wee bit further than he would really like, but he's actually okay to get on the 4. Now, probably the safest one's just to go to the right hand rail. And remember, this 5 ball, he can probably roll through slightly or try and just draw back. Well, he's gone forward with a bit of right English, that's good. Got a good line into the middle pocket, so Stefan making the most of his handicap, and very quickly back into the lead. So, Rip, was you in Friday night 9-ball and shooters pool? If you're still there. Two going to drop? No, just going to hang there. So, I think, yeah, don't think Stefan can see enough of that one. Played a good jump, and you should be able to squeeze the 2 in. The only problem is look where the 3 is. 3's up at the top there, hidden by the 9. Now that needs to slow down. Well, I don't know whether he might be able to still see enough of that. Maybe just a little bit of spin round the 9. Try and... oh, he got it in, no problem. Single elimination. Oh, there's a bad one from Stefan. Hung up the 4. Now you'd think if they weren't expecting an awful lot of people to come into it, they might have made it double elim. At least get your money's worth. I see they've actually closed the beta sign-up, so they're not taking any more people for beta testing. The form doesn't work anymore. So Stefan back at the table once again. This time he's got his money ball. Oh, he's overdone that by an absolute mile now. Those are the shots I keep saying. You've got to just take your time and pick your line. I don't think he put too much time and thought into that one. He could have made the most of it and might regret it. Tommy's banked the 6. And he's got really no shot in the 7. Can try the reverse bank into the middle, but he's trying the safety, trying to use the 8 and 9 as cover, and I think he's done pretty well. He'll be happy with that one. So, will Stefan get another chance? And he needs to get lucky, and I think he might have got lucky as well. And that might be too far for Tommy to jump, I don't know. Can certainly try and have a kick at it. I think that left hand middle pocket's in the way though. Well, he's played the jump. Where's the 7 going to end up? It's going to end up over the pocket. So another chance for Stefan, and he really needs to make the most of this one. Roll through off the rail, back up for the 8 ball into the left middle. Oh, is it a free tourney? Oh, that's very generous of them. Mind you, it's very generous, but for the fact that it's still beta testing. It's whether they do that and whether they do that when it goes live. I doubt that very much. Although if they're prepared to let people make their own tournaments, then you know that's if that feature's still in it, then it might draw a few people to it. Well, that's a great shot in the 9. So Stefan has opened up a gap, 3-1 up. Tommy, you the favourite for this, 2,200 rated player. But up against the 6 ball extra money ball in the handicapping, and so far Stefan's got the use of it. Now, if I was in Stefan's corner right now, I'd be telling him not to take any risks. And by that I mean not lashing out at a ball just out of desperation. He went for a sort of a bank on that too, but it was nowhere near. And there's a mistake made by Tommy. So can Stefan steal another one? And this is an example here. I mean, he can go for this 3-ball, but it's much easier to play a good safe on the 3-ball than it is to actually pot it. He's gone for it. He's gone all out for it. Now, how's his luck in the 4? Well, that's sort of no man's land. He's having to pull out shots now to try and keep the run going, and not in prime position. But he's getting there. He's going to do it now. Well done. Just a roll through and he's on the 6 again. So this is going to test Tommy Yu's ability. And Tommy made the mistake on the 2-ball. And as we've seen, Stefan is more than capable of taking his chances. He's now 4-1 up. Couple of balls went in the break, 6 balls still up there, although Stefan doesn't really have a shot in the 1, but he can play again a good safety. Well, if he hadn't hit the 9, that would have been good. And the 5's now tied up, so Tommy's visit here is going to have a problem to be dealt with, and he might have something sooner than that. So and not easy to punch this 2 away and stay behind the 6, because the angle isn't great, and that was the problem. It was too close, so he actually nudged the 6 out the way as well. Stefan going to kick the 2. Managed to do that. So the 5-ball's the next ball in line. Now there is an angle here. I don't know whether it's enough, but that's why Tommy's decided just to play the safe. And this is where Stefan needs to get wise, because if he has a bang at this too, he's most probably not going to pot it, but he's in danger of splitting the 5 and the 9. And that's what you don't want to do. You have to be wise. He should have possibly played a deliberate foul there, and all he's done is left the 2 on and given Tommy his chance. This is what I mean about playing clever. You've got to use the rules of the game, and Tommy's left himself the bank and nowhere near that, hit it into the middle jaw. And Tommy's making mistakes at the wrong time now, because if Stefan can cut this 5 in or bank it, he may well have another rack under his belt. Well, he's overdone that one. Well, he's going to be relying on banks to stay in this match. And we know what the penalty is if he misses this. And I think it's going to go this time. Just this time. So this 9-ball to reduce the deficit. And a quick reminder, Stefan and Tommy Yu are both from Germany, hence why they're talking in German in the chat. So Stefan still leads by 4 racks to 2, race to 7. Winner breaks. And the ball went down in the break there as well. And Tommy's got a cut back in the one. I think the 2 ball's gone. Needs a bit of luck to get on this 3 though. Yeah. Too much in the way there. And well, the spin almost overdone it there, but he's got the cover, I think. And he's going to scratch. Now, while Tommy's sizing up what he's got to do, I'm just going to update that refresh to 30 seconds on the bracket. He's just peeked past the 5. So off the right side rail and back out for the 5 into this bottom left hand corner pocket. Just got to watch the speed, doesn't want to overdo it, so he's cutting this 5 back. And that's okay. Now he's got a problem. And the problem being that the 6 is only going into the 1 pocket, I think. Yep. And that angle, he would really need to dig right into this 5 ball to come up the left hand side of the 6. And he was trying to do too much there. And the same thing as the last rack, it's broke down on the 5 ball and Stefan only needs to pot the 5 and the 6. And he's overdone the 5, so the mistakes are beginning to come from Stefan. And that's one way Tommy's going to get back into this match. Having said that, he's got a very thin cut in that 5 along the rail. Where's the cue ball going to end up? 6 ball, let's have a look at that end there. Well, that 6 ball can certainly be, it certainly can cheat the pocket if you finish this side of it. And getting to the other side of it for the opposite pocket is going to be difficult. And once again, the angle's not good. You can draw and try and get onto that 7 ball and maybe hold for the 6. But he needs to get right into the cue ball. A lot of draw. Well, he's playing it the other way. He's going to finish up behind the 7, I think, is he? Well, that's unlucky. It's a good effort. And it's going to be a jump. Yep, too close. He jumped over it. So ball in hand. Another chance for Tommy to get another one back. And that'll do nicely. Again, making it simple. Little roll in the black or the 8 ball. And just a 1 rack in it. So Tommy's breaking off rack number 8. Trailing by 4 racks to 3. Couple of balls have gone in again this time, and now he's on the 1 and an open table. Oh dear, it's all gone out of shape straight away. Well, this is an ideal opportunity if Tommy doesn't get the hit on this 2 and doesn't get it safe. Well, he's not got the hit, so ideal from the point of view that Stefan's got a chance to run these balls. The only bad news for him is his money ball's gone, so he's going to have to run the table to win this rack from this position. Now, can he just run into the 9 here when he pots a 3? No, he might run into the 8. He could hook himself behind the 9. He needs to hit this firm. Needs to be careful. And he's hit it enough. Skimmed off the 8. Out into the open. And if he's going to go around the corner here, if he's going to go there, he needs to avoid the 9. He's done that. It needs to bounce. And he's still okay. And the pace of this shot, you can just roll up onto the right hand side rail here. He needs to go far enough. It needs to keep going. Let's have a look at that from his point of view. Well, that's actually not bad. It's slightly lower than he would have liked. He's not looking at the pocket. And he's got to think about the position in the 9 ball. And as long as he slows up, he's fine. So that's one that has gotten away there from Tommy. Just as he was getting back into the game, he's let one go, and Stefan is cleared up and opens a 2 rack lead again. And another ball in the break. The 1 ball is gone, and this could be a quick rack. He's got a 2-6 combo, which he has missed. So Tommy breathes a sigh of relief. Well, that's a bit of good fortune. Or maybe he played it, but the 3 ball has gone in. And he can use that 8 ball. It makes the middle pocket a bigger pocket. He can run that 2 into the 8. Well, I don't know why he didn't look at that. He tried to play a bank. And if you look at the angle on that 2 ball would have been in that middle pocket, no problem, off the 8. As it is, Stefan's going to do it. And Tommy, you might regret that choice of shot there. He should really have cut the 2 onto the 8. And this has gone a bit straight for Stefan. No, there's a slight angle there. But he needs to watch he doesn't finish over by the 8 and 9. This is where the cue ball's going with this shot. So he's leaving it at distance. So a thin cut to open up a 3 rack lead again. He was 4-1 up. Tommy got it back to 4-3. So this to need just 1 more. And he's played it well. So Stefan breaking off in rack number 10, leading by 6-3, and wants 1 more. Well, this time nothing's gone down. Let's have a look at this 5 and 9. Well, that 5 goes. It goes. I'm pretty certain it does. It looks very tight. Then again, the more I look at it, the more I think it doesn't go, but it's not touching the 9. It might as well be touching the 9, but in that case then it does go. And let's see what Tommy thinks. Well, he thinks it didn't, so he's tried to nudge it, he's hit it, and he's scratched again. So this match is all but over, provided Stefan can pot the 5 from ball in hand and get on that 6. And Well, maybe Tommy should have looked closely at that 5 and 9. And you have to zoom in really close to see that there was a gap. Now, is he going to end up playing this 6 ball down into this bottom left as we look? That looks like what he's planned. So this for the match. And it goes, and Stefan wins by 7 racks to 3, and Tommy Yu moves over to the 1 loss side. So that match finished quicker than I thought it would. And we can see Stefan has moved through to play Mark Shark. Larry is currently 2-0 up against Potman, who's getting the 7 and out. And in the first round matches, well, we've seen Irish Gaz has a bye. Wink at Me and Black Hole, who's getting 6 and out. They're 5 all. We'll rush in and see that match, or at least see the end of it. And Black Hole, oh now where's he from? From the United States. And Wink at Me's from Canada. So there's a bit of rivalry going on there. 2 players from either side of the border. And Black Hole just under 1800 rated. Well, can Wink at Me see the left hand rail? Well, I hit the wrong button, folks. Well, now Wink at Me's in trouble. He's got the kick. Well, I'm assuming that Black Hole is a relatively new player because I've never seen him before, which would be one reason why his rating's not high. So we'll see what sort of ability this chap has, because he's got a 4 9-ball combo coming up any second. He's spending an awful lot of time looking at this 3 ball. He's putting English on the cue ball as well, and goodness knows what he was trying there. Honestly, I haven't a clue what he was trying. He didn't fancy the pot and the 3 into the bottom right hand corner, and did he actually look to see that that 3 ball would cut in the middle? Maybe he is under an 1800 player. But certainly that wasn't what I was expecting him to do. So he's throwing it back at Wink at Me. Well, who's cross banked to 3 and no shot in the 4. This is a strange couple of shots we've seen. Absolutely no position in the 4 playing that shot. So is he going to bank this as well? Well, all the banks are never going to go in all the time. Black Hole gets the kick on the 4, but I think he's left it open. And there's a good angle there to pot the 4 and get the cue ball off the right or the left rail as we look from the bottom end of the table. And another, well, it's actually a bit too straight, this 5 ball. He's going to have to maybe draw past the 7. And he's underhit that by quite a margin. So Wink at Me is not playing like a 2,276 rated player right now. And he maybe hasn't been all match, which is why they're 5-all. But he's played a good safe. Although there's enough at the edge of that 6 ball showing just to catch a thin edge. Is that off the rail? Well, that 6 ball is a good bank. It has to go in, because if it doesn't go in, it's going to run into the 8 ball if it banks up and down. But he's refused it. And this time the 6 ball is further away from the rail. And the Black Hole, I've noticed, playing with a house cue, so he's not got the same power in his shots as he would if he had a bot cue, and he's cut that away from the rail. Oh, I thought that was going to end up behind the knuckle, but Wink at Me now. Well, this isn't easy, but he's going to have to go for it. He's going to try the 6-9 combo. The 9's away from the rail further than the 6, so he's got to make this somehow. He's got to push that 6 onto the left hand side of the 9, and he's left it hanging. The question is though, what does Black Hole do? He can play this to the left side rail and play a safety, because he can't get the cue ball into that 9. The angle isn't there. But he might be going for the cut. It's hard to tell. But there is an easy safety. That needs to keep running. That's not going to get there, unfortunately. Well, just a 7 ball onto the 9, and Wink at Me is going into the lead. He's come up dry, left a 1 ball on. 2 ball goes past the 3, 3 goes into the same pocket, 4 goes into either corner or the middle. But does Black Hole have the ability to do that? We've yet to see him string 2 or 3 balls together. But this is a chance. And now would be a good time to do it. He needs to get the pace in this right as well if he's going to draw. Well, he's just killed it. So now a little roll through. What's the angle though? He's got a bit more angle than he would have liked. He'd have been better to roll through and leave this 5 ball straighter. Well, that's not bad. Still going to have to hold for the 7. The angle again is just going slightly the wrong way from where he would want it to be. I think he can just roll this in dead weight and finish on the right hand side of the 7 as we look, but he needs to come off that rail. Oh dear, well, he's overdone it. And just as he had the money ball, he's missed it. Well, he's got to go for the up and down bank here, surely. This to tie the match up, or does he try and tip tap and keep it safe? Well, would you believe it? I'm going to have to watch that in a replay again. Oh, that was a good shot. That was a very good shot. So, it's a final rack decider. dry break from Black Hole, and Wink at Me's got no shot in the one, so he's looking for somewhere to push. So he's pushed to the 5 ball. And it's not easy to get the cue ball up the table. Black Hole's banked to 1. He'll probably not have a jump cue either, I would assume. So he's going to have to play some sort of kick to get on this 2, and he can't do it from the left hand rail. 4's blocking the path. He can certainly get it from the right hand rail. Well, he's just decided to play the deliberate foul. And in one way, that puts the pressure on Wink at Me, because he's got ball in hand, but such is the position of the balls, Wink at Me's going to try and nail Black Hole. Well, he should be trying to stick him behind a ball. And that wasn't a good safety. He's left it wide open. There was a chance to go there for the 3 fouls. These balls are still sitting in good position as far as that goes, but Black Hole is getting 6 and out, remember. And the 5 ball's the one that's going to cause problems. Well, the 4 ball's a problem as well, because Black Hole's just scratched. So how does Wink at Me get on this 5? Well, he's going to try and run it down the rail. This is an accurate shot if that's what he's going to try. Well, he went for the safety. I thought he was going to try and get on the 5, but it's very, very tight to get on that 5. He's got it safe. And he needs to jack that cue up if he's going to try and spin around the 9 into the rail and kick the 4. There's a gap there between the 8 and 7. He can do it that way. I think he's going far too much to the left here with this. No, he's got it. Well, he's got the 4 ball. He's left it on. Wink at Me's hitting his replay button by mistake. And the reason he's done that is because the R button is very close to where your fingers are working around with the S button. And this is why I always remap the replay button to my backspace key, and then I don't accidentally hit it. So he's opened up the 5. Well, that's a strange shot as well. Why Wink at Me didn't think he could pot the 5 and hold for the 6 is beyond me. I don't know what sort of strategy he's planning here, but he's certainly achieved one thing. He's hooked Black Hole in the 5. But I think Wink at Me's panicking because they're down to the money balls. So he's given ball in hand again to Wink at Me, who's going to nail the cue ball behind the 9, and this could end up ugly for Black Hole, because he's now going to be in 2 fouls in a second or 2, and he's going to have nothing else to work with here. So if he just tries the same strategy again, he's going to find himself nailed behind the 8 ball. He's got to try and kick this. And he can do it from that angle. Right hand English to try and make the angle. And that's a good shot. And this time he's got it pretty safe. Well, Wink at Me's put all his eggs into one basket there, and that is a disaster. He's potted a 5 and scratched, and Black Hole just needs to roll the 6 in for the match. Well, there's a lesson to be learned there for Wink at Me. He had a chance on that 5 ball when it was up near the 6 and refused it. And that's why he's lost. So Black Hole, the unknown player, has beaten Wink at Me by 7 racks to 6. Well, that was interesting. I would have loved to have seen more of that match. See how that ended up in that state. Right, well, Larry is playing Potman. Larry was 2-0 up when we checked it. He's now 3 racks all. And now would be a good time to go in and join that match. That's a round 2 match. Remember, Potman is getting 7 and out. And Larry with a chance to go back into the lead. Has to get this cue ball onto the rail if he can, and he's actually spun off the rail. Well, he's okay. He can certainly draw the cue ball up the table for this 7, but it would have been a lot easier had he had a better angle. And Larry's underhit that by a country mile. And remember, Potman just needs that 7 ball, and Larry's got to either get this safe or pot it. Looks as if he's going for the bank. And it goes, and he's going to need another good one on this 8 ball. This 8 ball, well, it's close to the rail, but there's a little gap. And he should be on the 9 ball. Oh, it just crept in. Now, can he take this 9 ball into this bottom pocket without the cue ball scratching in the middle? It's going to be very close to that knuckle. Aye, he's okay. So, Larry back into the lead. And a couple of balls have gone in. 6 ball certainly was one of them. It went into the right middle, and the 2 ball has gone into the bottom right. Shot in the 1 ball. I think it just squeezes past the 5. It certainly does. And he needs to get the cue ball right up to the top of the table to get on the 3. Right, see you later. And Larry's left it a wee bit short. Going to have to bounce this cue ball off this bottom rail and back up for the 4. He misses the 8 ball, so he's now perfect. Well, there's the result came in. Wizard Cheat has beaten the Worm by 7 racks to 5. Now this angle that Larry's got in the 5 ball, he can run off the side rail, come out and go down. I can't believe as he tried to play for the 7-9. Had to be accurate. He's got it as accurate as he can. This would be a bad one to miss. But in it goes. So Larry opens up the gap. Leads by 5 racks to 3. And this, again, the second round matches, all the matches in the winner's side are all a race to 7. I think the finals are a race to 9. No ball in the break. A chance for reasonable enough safety. The 1 does pass the 2 though. The cue ball's going near that middle pocket. Well, Potman's left the 1 hanging. Difficult to get the cue ball back out here from such a tight position. It always is an issue. You've got to judge the hit in the 1 ball when it's deep in the pocket to try and get the cue ball moving. And Larry's gone for the draw and he's scratched off the 5. You've no real 100% guarantee exactly how the cue ball's going to react off the object ball when it's as close in the pocket. So ball in hand for Potman, and he would really like to make the most of this opportunity. And this is only going to go wrong if he plays a silly positional shot. Easy enough to go on the 4. The problem is getting the right angle on this 4 so he can come away from the 8 and 7 ball. He wants to get over to have a shot and a sight on that 5 ball on the left hand rail. So he's got to be thinking about that. And he's got an angle that would take him into the 7 and 8, but if he draws off this 4 and draws right back towards the 6, he's going to have a shot in the 5 at least. Well, maybe I misread it myself. He's actually slammed into the 7 drawn off that ball, and now he's got no shot in the 5, so he's got to look to get this safe somewhere. Unless he wants to risk a bank. That's what he's going for. It looks very like it. No, trying to get it thin. Well, he's brought it off the rail. Now what does Larry do? There's no way he can get on the 6 ball, so he's probably going to look to try and tuck the cue ball over by the 8 ball. But it needs to be good because he's bringing that 5 ball out into the table. If he does that, but he's got the next best thing. He's not got the cue ball behind the 8, but he's got the 5 ball almost in the middle in the bottom rail. And the 5 ball, well, that's very tight if he contemplates a bank. But he could cut the 5 towards the 6 and bring the cue ball back up towards the 8. Well, that needs a bit more pace because the 7's going to kill that. So now Larry's got a dilemma. What does he do? Does he play the cut onto the 6? Is he actually looking at that at the moment? Well, he's overcut the 5. And that cue ball isn't going to run far enough, and it's a chance for Potman. Now this time Potman has to get these. He has to get the 5, the 6 and the 7 to win the rack, and he'll not get a better opportunity than this. Oh dear, what's he done here? Is he okay? Yes, he's fine. Well, he's just going to have to leave the 7 long. Get that cue ball out from the jaw and have a shot in the 7. And he's gone a bit too far. These are missable. Because again, the problem's always when you're not looking at the pocket, you're looking at the object ball and you're not looking at the line to the pocket. But in it goes. So that's 1 back for Potman. He's breaking off in rack number 10, still trailing by 1. Larry leading by 5 racks to 4. In goes the 5. How's his luck? Well, he's got... Is he going to try? That's actually a pretty good line to actually try cutting the 1 onto the 9 for the combo. It's a bit ambitious, but he actually just needs to try and skim that 1 off the 9, and that would make the potting angle the 9, but it's a bit far-fetched. Well, it's actually heading that direction. If anything, he actually probably played it too good. Anyway, the 9 ball still close to that corner pocket, and Larry's got the 2 ball to get onto, which will squeeze past the 4. The 4 ball in the top right makes it a bigger pocket, so he shouldn't have any problem there. Oh dear, Larry. Well, Potman will kick that in, probably off the opposite rail. It's a big target to hit that 1 ball. He doesn't want to be, he doesn't want to slam at this, because the cue ball's running away. He's fine. He's got it down the rail, and he's heading up towards the 3 as well. It could possibly be a 6-9 combo here coming up. That's creeping away. It's not going to get there, but it's got safe, I think. I think he's got it safe. That is really tight. Now Larry must be looking at it and thinking there's no way that's going to go. No, he's, I think out of desperation, he tried to pour it. He's looking for the next best thing. Well, he's got cover, but have no doubt that Potman's going to make the jump over that 8 and 6 ball. And the cue ball won't have a lot of pace in it when it gets to the 2, but that's actually handy because the 3 ball's up there as well, or down here as we look, and that's perfect. So are we going to see the 6-9 combo? I reckon we are, if we can get the pace in this right, unless he tries to get behind it. But that's then asking a lot to play an exact, precise positional shot. So he needs to make his mind up now when he gets to take this 4 ball. And he can leave himself an angle on this 4, which he's done, to actually cut the 4 and just judge the pace in the cue ball. Cue ball's going to come up here. I'll get my lines sorted out here in a sec, hang on. Cue ball's going to come up here. Now he actually wants to get it so he can get that as straight as possible. And that looks not too bad. Let's see what he's got. Now this should be an easy shot. He just needs to more or less hit that 6 ball straight to that right edge of the 9. Well, there we go. All of a sudden, it's 5 racks all. Nothing doing for Potman. And Larry's got a lot of work to do here. That 2 ball is very tight past the 4, but it does go. So he's left a 1 hanging. And this is not easy, where he's got the cue ball right now to get on this 2. He spun it around the corner, and this needs a very accurate shot. He's just going to have to really pot the 2. Positioning the 3's even more of a problem unless he comes back and tries to play the combo onto the 6. And it looks like he's got a choice. He can play a billiard from the 3 ball onto the 6 to pot the 6. He can bank the 3. He's only going to get 1 attempt at that. And he's missed that, and he's now left it on. Yet another chance here for Potman to steal a rack. He's stunned that cue ball off the right hand side rail. Hopefully for Potman's sake he'll avoid hitting the 7 ball and get the cue ball back out. He's hit the 7, but no real damage done. And again, a reminder, if he pots the 4, gets on this 6 ball, which he should do, he can come out behind the 8 and 9. Well, he's hit the 9, but he just needs to pot the 6 and leave himself a shot in the 7, and he'll be sitting on the hill needing 1 more rack. So, barring a disaster on this 7 ball, if he leaves it hanging, he's going to be 6-5 up. All the pressure on Larry. And it goes. So Potman to break off in rack number 12. And Larry with all to do. Now, what was that dropped? Oh, the 8 ball went down. The 8 ball was one of Potman's money balls, so it gets respotted, and Potman remains at the table. Just a reminder of the rules, we're playing spot money, which means that, oh, Potman's just going to scratch there, is he? No. Potman getting 7 and out means that if any of the money balls that he has in his game, if they're potted on Potman's break, they will be respotted, hence why the 8 ball was spotted, and the player remains at the table. Larry doesn't have that problem. He knows he has to pot all of them if he's going to win this rack and stay in the match. And the 3 ball's now been tied up behind the 6, so there's no great benefit here for potting the 2 ball, other than the fact he needs to get the cue ball up to the top end to try and get a good safety. That's why Larry's refused the 2. And he's got it safe, but again, Potman will just jump that. Now if that slows up, well, same position as the last time. Larry can pot the 2, but he's not going to gain anything from it, so he might even try and spin this cue ball up towards the 3 and the 6 and the 8 and the 9 to try and use them as cover. When he's played the pot, now he's going to find himself in trouble. Well, let's see what he's got here. Well, no problem hitting the 3, he can get to the 3, but he needs to try and draw in behind the 9, that's what he's playing. And that was not a good shot, Larry. That should have been tight. Potman might even be able to see enough of this to pot it down the rail. Let's have a look. No, maybe not. So this time it's Larry who's going to dig out the jump cue. And no guarantee from this jump shot that he'll get on the 4, because the 5 was blocking the path into that middle pocket, so he's going to have to get the cue ball in such a position to either take the 4 into this same pocket, and it's not going to get there, I don't think. And Larry's left with these awkward shots at the wrong time during the rack to try and keep a run going. Now, is it worth his while actually trying to pot this or trying to get it safe? Well, he's trying to hide the cue ball, but once again he's failed. Potman's got a shot in the 4, and he should have a shot in the 5. He's overdone it. Well, this is a chance Larry's been waiting on, and Larry now in prime position, but he knows he can't make a mistake. Simple as that. He can't make an error. Now, if he's going to do anything simple here, it's just leave that 7 into the left middle, which he's done, because he just needs to roll the 7 in, and he's naturally on the 8. He doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. So it looks very likely we're going to a final rack decider. Potman made the mistake, gave Larry the chance, and Larry's duly obliged, taking his opportunity. And more importantly, it's Larry breaking off in the 13th and deciding rack. There's another result come in. Stefan has beaten Mark Sharp by 7 racks to 4, I think. Well, the 9 has gone in, that'll get respotted. And Larry remains at the table with all the balls in the open. But a tough shot in the 1 to try and get the cue ball back up for this 2. Going to have to have a lot of running in the cue ball here. Well, he actually got the 2. He got onto the 2, but that little bit of force follow has sent the 1 ball offline. Potman got into that far too much, because had he potted the 1, He's hooked himself in the 2. And Larry's got another problem. He can draw off the 1, but the best he's going to be able to do here is play a 2-7 combo if he draws off the 1 at that angle. There is an elaborate positional shot you can attempt to play. If you play with a lot of left-hand English, you can slam the 1 in. It sends the cue ball over there, it kicks it onto the rail, and then it draws it down that way to play the 2. That's one way. Well, Larry's tried it with a draw, and he's finished nowhere. Now he's got a good opportunity to try the bank, but more inclined to try and play the safety here, which is what he's gone for. Well, the cue ball, as we've seen before, it isn't tight. It's nowhere near tight behind the 4, so plenty of room for Potman to jump this. But what he's doing is he's lining up the edge of the 2 ball, and as long as he doesn't put any unwanted spin on this cue ball, he should have a good chance of cutting that 2 in from the jump shot. So I think he's hitting it too thick, is he? Yeah, he's actually hit it full in the face, and all he's done is left Larry another opportunity. He's looking at the potting angle in the 3. That's pretty academic because he's going to have to leave the 4-7 combo. And Larry will be looking to take this match out here. Now all he needs to do is avoid the 8 ball, which I think he should do. Let's just see what he's got here. I think he's pretty straight. Well, he might have to leave this 5 long into that top right hand corner pocket as we look into that one. And he's overcooked it. He's overcooked that by far too much. And that means he's got more work to do with the cue ball. He's having to play this with left hand English to come across and try and get between the 6 and the 9. He's trying to go that way, possibly to get on the 6. But this means the cut in the 5's a lot tougher. I don't know that that's actually... that angle's there to do that. Looking at it, the more I look at it, the less inclined I'm thinking. Well, he's finished the short side of the 6, and he's still in good position now. Well, this looks fairly straightforward. Don't do anything daft and stick yourself behind a 9. You've plenty of room to get around that. So here's, well, this is meat and drink for Larry. There's no way he should be missing this 8. You just need to pot the 8. He can go both ways. He can come across off that rail back out here. He can actually draw up that way. So he's got his choice. He looks as if he's going across. He might actually be coming across and down. Ah, he is. Right. So we've finally worked out what Larry's doing, and this should be a straightforward pot into the corner for the match. So Larry wins it by 7 racks to 6. Potman moves over to the 1 loss side. So another update here. Now that match is about to update. We'll see Larry is about to play Stefan. And Black Hole, who beat who the hell was Black Hole playing again? Blink at me. I'll say blink at me, wink at me. And Irish Gaz has forfeited his match against Black Hole. So Black Hole has got a bye into the next round, and he's waiting on the winner of the match between Wizard Cheat and DJ Redo. Wizard Cheat is getting 6 and out in that match and is currently up 5-3. And meanwhile, on the one loss side, the Worm is playing Mark Shark. And Irish Gaz, now has he moved through to that? Is he actually here? Well, he's sitting in the lobby. Oh, he's moaning about the handicap. Well, it looks as if he's going to forfeit that match as well, because Capo's getting 5 and out, and he doesn't fancy it. So we'll worry about that later. So Larry's now playing Stefan, and Stefan is getting 7 and out. And Wizard Cheat is playing DJ Redo. Let's have a look at this match here between the Worm and Mark Shark. Mark Shark is getting the 8 ball and is currently up 1-0, and it's a race to 4 in the one loss side. Now, where is the Worm from? I don't think I've ever seen him playing. Well, he's from Canada as well. Oh, this is another US-Canadian battle here. And the Worm has no shot in the 7, so he's wondering what to do here. He could play a billiard off the 7 onto the 9 and try and knock the 9 in. Well, that's what he's tried. No joy. Well, that's something there that's just puzzled me. If you look at the HUD, we can see that that Mark Shark is getting the 8 ball as the extra money ball. However, Mark Shark is a lower rated player. That's strange. And the Worm is 2,055. I don't know why that's worked out like that, but anyway. Well, maybe it's to do with matches played in tournaments, I don't know. Maybe the Worm doesn't have a proper tournament rating. It's a strange one. Anyway, the rack number 3's underway, nothing's gone down. And the Worm's played a reasonable safety, although Mark Shark's problem is he's queuing over this 9 ball to try and get to the 1. Let's have a look. Is he spinning round the 7? Oh, he didn't get into that enough at all. Well, the Worm's got a good opportunity to stick him in 2 fills here if he uses his head. I don't think he can do that from... Can he get behind the 5? No, he can't. 5's blocking him out. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but there's no way that was a legal shot. That was always going to be a foul. I don't think he looked at the space between them. There's no way he could get to it. So he's let Mark Shark off the hook there. And Mark Shark's got ball in hand. Get the cue ball in between the 2 and the 7. That's not going to get there either. That's weak. He's left that way short of where he wanted it. And now he's going to have to play a thin cut in the 2. And he's going to have to run the cue ball to try and get on the 3. Well, he's played the bank, but he's way short on the 3 anyway. So straight away Mark Shark's got himself in trouble. And it all came about from a weak first shot. Well, let's see what the Worm's made of. He's got an open table. He's on the 3. Slightly the wrong angle on the 3, but he can draw it back. Well, he's trying to force through and come around behind the 4. He's done well there. How does the 5 look? Well, the 5 definitely goes past the 6. I think I must be having a brain fart. I think my brain is going to shut down here. That handicap's correct. Mark Shark is player 2, that's why he's getting the 8 ball. Just dawned on me. Yeah, I'm falling asleep here. It took me 2 minutes to glance back up at the HUD to realise who player 2 was. This always happens to me. It's gotten to 20 past 9. And as soon as I get after 9 o'clock, my brain and my body start to shut down because it's telling me I should be in my bed an hour ago. Anyway, Mark Shark's 2-0 up. The Worm has a chance here to get on the board. He needs to be gentle with this 8 ball though, or he needs to hit it with power to get the cue ball up and down the table, but you can't chicken out. That's one thing you can't do with this shot. You've got to make your mind up what you're doing and go for it. It's a delicate one to try and hold this cue ball for a cut on the 9, so you're better going the other way and hitting it up and down. And that's not going to get there. Not going to get there. And that's not a great shot for a bank either. So he's just trying to run into it and kill it. Keep the 9 ball there. Well, somebody's going to make a mistake and they're going to have to make it pretty soon. Anyway, good evening to those that are watching. A reminder that every Friday, unless I have a week off, which I don't have any now until after the new year, I've got a 10:30 shutdown time, so we've got an hour and 5 minutes to go of this tournament before I go to beddy buys. Mark Shark's going for distance this time. Now that's actually a better shot for a reverse bank, because the angle there has got the 9 off the cushion, and you can bank it back that way, and if you miss it, you get it in that pocket. That's what he's doing. He went all out for it. Oh dear, has it got second prize here? Has he got second prize? You know what? He damn well has. He can't get to the potting angle in the 9. He's going to hit the tip. You could only see half of the 9 ball. And where's it going to end up? Well, it's in the middle of the table, but this is an opportunity for the Worm. Needs to watch the scratch though. He's got to get a bit of draw in this. Not too much though, don't go over eager with it. And he's played it well. So Mark Shark is leading by just a 1 now. And it's only race to 4. Let's have a quick update on what's happening. Well, Larry playing Stefan. Stefan getting 7 and out. Larry's up 2-0. And Black Hole still waiting on the winner of that match between Wizard Cheat and DJ Redo. Wizard Cheat is currently 6-4 up, and Wink at Me is now playing Popman. Popman's getting the... what the hell's Popman getting? The 5 ball. And Wink at Me's 1-0 up in that match. And Goodness knows what's happening in the Capo Irish Guys match. Well, that match, I think Capo's actually ended up forfeiting that match. Strange goings on. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, it's Mark Shark at the table, looking to play a safety, and he's got it. Easy kick behind the two though. You need to watch the scratch off the two. Oh, tell a lie, no, it's ball in hand. Well, I missed what really was happening there by looking at the bracket. Anyway, ball in hand to the worm. 2-1 down. And the problem ball to get dealt with is a 6. It's only because it's behind the 9. It goes into the left hand pocket. Well, this is asking a lot to pot the 5 and get on the 6 from this side of the table. Well, he's got the double kiss in the 5 and potted the 5. Well, this, to me, the safety shot's the one to play. You cut the 6 to the rail and it goes to there, and you bring the cue ball back up here. You've got to get it. In fact, if you play it with right hand English, you get the cue ball off the rail, side rail, and down here, and that way you don't leave a potting angle in the 6. Well, maybe the worm is showing what the house cue's like when you're trying to play a power shot. I think he puts unwanted spin on that ball there, and that's given Mark Sharp ball in hand. And Mark Sharp, now I remember, is well, why the hell is he playing the combo in this? This can go wrong. It's the 8 ball that's his money ball. He's maybe confused himself here straight away. Well, he's still got a shot in the 6, but he's going to have to go around the table here to get on the 8. I mean, my excuse is I'm falling asleep, but I don't know what Mark Sharp's excuse is, because he made a right hash of that. Well, that is bad shot choice there, playing that combo. That's how things backfire on you in this game. You've got to play the simple, sensible shot, the percentage shot, rather than trying to play something elaborate. He played an unnecessary combo and then left himself strung out in the 6. And from 2-0 up, he's now ending up all square, and it's only race to 4, so you can't afford any more bad choices like that. And the other disadvantage, well, has he got a break cue? Yeah, he's got a break cue. Unless I hadn't downloaded it, I'm pretty certain he's still playing with a house cue. Now, a couple of balls went in. One of them is a 9. It gets respotted, and the 2 ball has gone down. And it's going to be a 1-7 combo. And he's nudged it in off the 8. I'm just counting from when I saw that shot live there. The stream is actually about 8 seconds behind from what I'm watching live, and it's looking pretty good, I have to say. It looks very good on my second monitor. There's another result come in. Wizard Cheats won by 7 racks to 5 against DJ Redo. And back at this match, we've got the Worm, who is on the 6. Should certainly pot the 8. Now if he does it for distance, well, he's now got a nasty cut on the 8. Oh no, he's got a cue. I thought he was playing with the house cue earlier on. Maybe I just hadn't downloaded it. He's played that well, played that with left hand English to check the cue ball and keep it to the left hand side of the 9. So he's certainly shown a bit of ability. He knows certain shots to play. And he's now leading by 3 racks to 2. Well, dry break, but there is a danger ball. The 8 ball is sitting adjacent to that corner pocket, and Mark Shark needs to keep his eye on it, because that might be his chance to snatch a quick rack. But there's actually nothing near that 8 ball to aid him in his progress. Certainly not at the moment, there isn't. The other problem, of course, is down here for the 4 and the 6. They're tying each other up. So there's work to be done in that. Well, that was a delicate little shot there. Just a bit too much weight. Well, that's freed up the 6 and the 4, but it's tied up the 1. Now, is Mark Shark looking at the 1-6 combo, or is he looking to try and skim off the 1? Well, I think it was a half-hearted attempt at a 1-6 combo, and he could find himself in trouble in a second or two. And he is too close to try and play the jump, I think. Easy enough to play the kick off this long rail on the left hand side though, but you just don't know where it's going to go. No. Mark Shark fancies to play the jump. Well, he's landed on top of the 1, kept it more or less where it was. And he should be in trouble again here. Maybe a chance to try and sneak the cue ball behind the 2 ball here if he cuts that 1 towards the 6. I don't know. He's going the other way by the look of it. Try and get in behind the 6. Well, he's doing neither. And all he's done is left the 1 ball on. You've got to have a game plan at certain times during the actual rack. All that effort there is just giving Mark Shark a chance, albeit a slim one, because now the 5 ball and 8 ball's tied up at the top end. Let's have a look at that and see how it looks here. Well, that 5 ball's not going anywhere, so the best you'll get off that 5 is the thin safety. You just go thin off the edge of the 5, try and tuck it behind the 9, and the cue ball down here. That would be the ideal safety on that one. Let's see what he does. Well, he's trying to split them. Well, that was a great effort. And he might get second prize. Can he? No, he can't. I was thinking he might be able to try and play a 5-9 combo, but there's no gap there. So, very thin edge though. And leave that 5 ball close to the rail and get the cue ball as far up the table as he can, or as far down the table, depending on what end you're looking at. Well, this is a chance to play the shot I was talking about. Same thing, as thin as you can, and get that cue ball down here. And that is a great effort. Just a bit too much weight. Well, the cue ball is going to be very close to that 9 if he plays the pot in the 5. But that might do him a favour and hold him for the 6. Well, it has done, but he's missed the 5. Would you believe it though? He's got it safe. There's a feather edge of that 5 showing. He needs to hit this hard enough to get it to the rail. Doesn't want to leave this out in the open for a shot in the middle pocket. Oh, the 6 is going in. Well, everything's happening here. And what does he do? Well, the 5 is a bank, but it's going to have to bank directly into that top pocket as we look past the 9. It's not going to come back up and give him a second chance. Well, he's refusing the bank. Trying to leave it safe, but Mark Shark has a chance of the bank into the right middle now, and he can get the cue ball out for that 7, but he knows he's going to have to pot that 8 as well. And he refuses the bank. Well, he might not get many more opportunities. Is he just going to roll up to the 5, play for the double kiss? Well, what's happened here? He's going to have to try and spin around the 7. And that's a good shot. He just managed to squeeze past the 7. So still needs the 8 and the 9. Oh, sorry, the 7 and the 8. And he looks okay. So we're going to the final rack decider in this one as well. And it's Mark Shark breaking off in rack number 7. And Potman and Wink at Me, their match is over, and Wink at Me has won that one. And the 1 and the 2 ball have gone down in the break. And now we're going to see a 3-9 billiard. He's tried it, hit the 9 too thin. Oh dear. Well, the mistake's been made by the higher rated player, and it's ball in hand to Mark Shark. Now, let's see if he can run out. Got the right side of the 4. That's the first thing he had to do. He's drawn back left to 5 straight. And now this is a slight problem, because if he rolls through, he's going to leave a narrow angle on this 6. And he's going to have to work the cue ball to try and get up for the 7. And that isn't good. So he's got himself in a mess straight away. And that all came about by getting 2 straight and a 5. That's how things go wrong in 9-ball. That's how they go wrong in every billiard game. You just get the wrong angle and that undoes your plans. But he's actually come up with a good bit of luck there. The worm's been hooked, for want of a better expression, to use a fisherman's term. He's hooked behind the 8-ball. So looking for a kick and hope. And he's missed it. So once again, Mark Sharp's got ball in hand. The 7-ball goes past there, no problem. And this match should be over. But he's got to get from the 8 up to the 9. Looks fairly simple. It's amazing how things go wrong. And he's gone dead straight on the 7, and that's not good, because he can only go backward or forward. Now, you can't hit this too hard and put too much top in this. You won't let the cue ball run. And as it is, he's decided to leave the bank. Sorry, only need the 8-ball. What am I talking about? There you go. There's the evidence of my memory again in handicapping. He only needed the 8-ball. That's why he wasn't playing to go on the 9. So Mark Sharp wins the match by 4 racks to 3. Oh dear. Now, DJ Redo has won the match against Tommy Yu by forfeit. Presumably because DJ Redo was getting a big handicap and Tommy Yu didn't fancy it, or he was away doing something. Anyway, the tournament goes on, and Larry is now leading by, now is that a 5 or a 6? 5 racks to 2. 5 racks to 3, sorry. And Wizard cheats 1-all with Black Hole. What the hell's happening with this Irish Gaz? Well, the two of them are playing. What's that other one there? Mark Shark is about to play Wink at Me in the 1 lost side in the race to 4. Well, suddenly that's been updated. It's now, is that 5-3? Let's jump in and see Larry and Stefan. Yeah, it's now 5-4. So Stefan's player 2, he's getting 7 and out. That's running too strong. A good shot in the 1, but he's leaving himself a lot of work to do here, Larry. This is a tight cut past the past the 4-ball. So there's not a lot of margin of error here. Shouldn't have any problem getting on the 3. 3's hanging over the top pocket, but this 2's tough. Well, we've seen how Stefan used his handicap in his first match, and this is the ideal situation. He's sitting with the 2 and the 3-ball over the pockets. He's got the 4-ball, which should be easy enough, and then a roll down the rail on the 5-ball and the 6-ball into the same pocket as the 3. The only problem in this situation is he's getting 7 and out, and that 7-ball is tight on that rail. That 7-ball there, that is going to be the problem. and he's made a complete hash there and missed a 3. Well, has to be said, it's very unlikely he's going to get another look at this table or in this rack. But Larry's got the problem to deal with the 7 ball, and if he's not going to do anything elaborate, he's going to pot the 6 and just roll through and leave the long 7 down the rail, which is the dangerous one. He wants to be playing that 7 from this side. Well, let's see what he does. Well, he's got the angle to do that. I think that's what Larry would much prefer to do, is to get this bottom side of the 7 from where we look. So he's going to have to force this 6 ball in. And he wanted to miss the 7, and that's now gone. Well, it's gone well wayward because he can't even make the potting angle there. And of course that's Stefan's money ball. These remaining 3 balls, any one of them will do him, and Larry's trying to work out how to get this safe. And the best he can do is leave it there, but he's leaving a bank, which no doubt Stefan will go for. But if he doesn't get it directly, it's not going to go back across because the 8 ball's blocking it. So he's got to hit this, and he's misread it. But he's got the second prize again, and this will frustrate Larry. Larry's now got a bigger dilemma here, trying to get this 7 ball safe. There's just no way he can know what's going to end up happening here. It needs to keep running. Now, has he done enough? Well, no, he hasn't. That 8 ball is a good guide for Stefan to pot that into the top pocket, and in it goes, and we are all square. 5 racks all. There's something in the top left, I don't know what it was. I'll have a look at the top. The 3 ball's gone. No shot in the 1. I'm looking for a half decent push out. Probably the one place he'd be looking to do is this bottom rail. The only problem with this shot is that he's now conceding the whole top end of the table. Now if Larry can just cut that to that 1 ball back across, cue ball there and down here somewhere, try and get the cue ball up by the 2. I don't know, it might even be the 7 ball. It depends on what angle he decides to hit it. Well, he's went the other way, but he's got this. He's got the same result. He's got the cover, and that's a good shot. And Stefan's got the hit, and he's left Larry with nothing either. So this is a bit of a kick and hope here for Larry. And I think Larry's getting a bit of joy. He's got the full snooker also. So it's nip and tuck as far as the safeties are concerned and getting out of them. And that looks another decent shot if he gets the running. Well, can Larry actually make this 4? Can he make the combo onto the 4? I think he can. He's going to nudge the 6 ball. The question is whether he lands on the 1 into the same pocket as the 4 if he plays the combo. Well, the 1's run away, and it's sort of a bit in the middle. But look at where the 2 ball is. He's going to have to do a lot of running with the cue ball. Now Larry played a great shot there to get on the 2, but he had to play that with a lot of spin, and that's why the 1 gets sent offline. he's also got away with it. Well, that's a weak safety from Stefan, but look what he's done with the 6 ball. He's tied the 2 up with the 6, and it's not really tied up because it goes into both pockets. You've just got to get the cue ball low enough to have a shot on the 2. Big run through, and Larry's looking to miss the 8 ball, and he's hit it smack in the face. Now, can Larry spin? I don't know what he's looking there, but I wonder whether he can actually spin. Just spin into the rail. Well, he never even gave it a look. He might have been able to spin into the rail with right hand English and cut the edge of the 2 along the rail. But he's tried to play he's played the deliberate foul and just tried to tie the 2 and the 6 up, and he's managed to do that. But he didn't fancy taking the risk on the cut off the rail. And Stefan looking to keep things tight, but he's not managed it. And Larry can use the 6 ball as a stopper because it's going to run into the 8. And that'll hold the 2 ball there. Same shot here for Stefan. Can keep a big distance between the 2 balls. Well, he's left that way short. He should have that cue ball another 4 foot up the table here, or down to the bottom of the table. And this time Larry will try and tuck the 2 behind the 6. Well, now, was that a legal shot? Yes, it was. So Stefan got the combo, cut the 2 onto the 8, which of course was one of his money balls, and he's now sitting just needing the 1 rack, but no joy in the break. And Larry, I think, will be riding his luck here. He's going to run into the 5 and the 3, but he's chancing his arm to hold for the 2, and straight away he's got problems. He's run out of line. And that can be kicked off the rail as well, into the pocket. He got it too thick. There's a good bank. A good bank in the 2. An easy cut down the rail in the 3. But he needs to get that cue ball away from there. So it's an easy enough cut. He's got to get the cue ball running again around the corner and up the table. Now, how's that looking? Well, that is extremely tight, even to actually cheat the pocket to take it long, because what he did initially played was to cut it into the middle. He's actually got it, used the 7 as a stopper, and he's back in position. And remember, this run out here for Larry's to stay in the match. And already there's danger with that 9 ball if Larry goes up the left hand side of the table. If he finishes here, the cue balls wanting to go up the left hand side, he's got to get to here, or he's got to leave it here. He can't dice with that 9 ball. That 9 ball could end up playing a big factor in this run out here. And he's dead straight in the 6, that's the other issue. So he's playing bottom and left hand English to hit the bottom rail here and kick over to the right a bit. So Larry's going to have to play the shot that I said. He's going to have to go off the rail and up that way, and he can't be blocked by the 9. He's got to keep running, and he's just made it. I think that was always going to be the danger, and now he's perfect. He just needs to go round the corner and up high enough and leave himself a shot in the 9. And another match is going to a final rack decider. Larry to break in rack number 13. Oh, the 6 ball. I think the spin just took it into the pocket there eventually. Larry needs to watch the scratch off the 2 here. This potting angle in the 1, the cue ball's going to run right into that 2, or maybe glance off it. Needs to be careful. And he's missed the 2, but he's run into the 5, and now he's got no shot. Well, just looks as if it's going to be the kick off the side rail. He might kick this in, mind you, if he picks the right spot. Got it too thin in the end. Well, if Stefan fancies it, he's got a shot into the left middle, and the cue ball is going to be on the opposite side of the table to the 3. But I think he's perfect for a shot in the middle. He certainly is. So here's Stefan's opportunity. Remember, he just needs to get to the 7 ball and pot the 7. So he's got the 4 and the 5 to go to send Larry to the 1 lost side. Oh, wrong side of the 5. Cue ball's got to go there, there, and there, and it needs to keep running. My lines aren't straight, I've got it in the wrong mode. Like that, that, and that. That needed to go there and there to be more comfortable, but he's okay. So, Stefan has taken Larry out, and Larry's gone over to the 1 lost side. Stefan wins the final rack and wins the match by 7 racks to 6. So the tournament is moving on now. Stefan is now in the hot seat. Larry's moved over to the 1 lost side. Sorry, Larry's in the semi. Stefan's in the semi, not the hot seat, because he's still to play the winner of Wizard Cheat and Black Hole. And currently Wizard Cheat, who's getting the 5 ball, is 4 racks to 1 up. And Larry is, I think, waiting on the loser of that match. Oh, wait a minute. Tell a lie. Larry's waiting on the loser of the Irish Gaz DJ Redo match. And Mark Sharp, that's the match we're going to jump in. This in the 1 lost side. Mark Shark against Wink at Me. And it's race to 4. Mark Shark currently up by 2 racks to 1. And Mark Shark is getting the 7 and out in this match as well. Well, no luck in that shot. 3 balls now tied up well and truly. He's looking for cover, and well, he's almost got it, but Mark Sharp's going to, I'm fairly certain, jump the 8 ball and try and pot that 3. He's lining up the potting angle, chose his jump cue, misjudged it. Well, that 3 does go past the 9. He's going to have to cheat it off the rail, but it will pot. But you don't want to play these too firm, because you might send it right off the rail. He's got to play at a gentle enough pace to go past the 9. It's going to run into the rail, but if he plays it at the right pace, it should go in the pocket. And he's played that well. It went in clean. That was a good shot. And even better, he's got prime position in the 4, more or less directly behind it. Oh, well. Oh, we've lost Mark Shark. And he's quickly back in. Well, that almost went into disastrous shape there, but he's still got the pot in the 6. It's a lot tougher than this looks, by the way. And he's overcut it. And he's almost got away with it, I would say. Well, he's got away with it pretty much, because it doesn't pot past the 8 ball. Now, what does Wink at Me do here? What would I do in this situation? Would I try and just hide the cue ball behind the 8? Or just do that? Well, what's he thinking? Does he think he wants to try and cut this? Strong danger of the scratch. He's played it with left English to avoid the scratch, and all he's done is left the 6 on. So here's Wink at Me's very good opportunity to tie the match up. And he's going to run through and play this 9 into the bottom right here, by the look of it. Oh no, he's tried to draw it back, and he's made a hash of it. Well, if you can't make up your mind, whatever you do when you play a shot, make sure you get the shot. And Wink at Me has just blown his chance there, and now he can't make any more mistakes. Mark Sharp needing 1 more rack and breaking off in rack 5. Wink at Me needs them all to stay in the tournament. And the 9 ball is sitting there. It's waiting on anything to knock it into that pocket. Wink at Me at the table, open table. A shot in the 1, but he's got to get in the 2. Needs to avoid the 5. Well, a wee glance off the 5's done him a favour. Now, does he go all out for the run out, or does he try and go on this 4 and play the combo? Well, he's going all out for the run out, so this is it, all or nothing. And he played that shot with right English to avoid running into the 7 and bring the cue ball back down this right side. Now, here's the important one. We've seen this go wrong hundreds of times. Playing the cut in the 6 and getting on the 7, and if he overhits it, he's probably going to end up with no shot. And he needs to get there. He's left it short, and you don't want this sort of shot to try and keep yourself in the tournament. We're now at the money ball stage here for Mark Shatton. This is Wink at Me's, could be his last shot in this tournament if he doesn't get the 7. Well, he's got the 7, but he's forgot about getting on the 8. And in exactly the same scenario, he must bank this 8 ball. He's got no other alternative, and he's made a complete hash of it, and it's game over. He hasn't got to the ball in hand, and Mark Sharp just needs to roll the 8 in. And Wink at Me, well, he's going to have to try again another day. So Mark Sharp wins the match by 4 racks to 1. And that ended up a disaster there. But that's what happens. You don't take your time. Right, so Mark Sharp moves on the 1 loss side. DJ Redo is currently playing Larry. DJ Redo's getting 6 and out, and Larry and DJ Redo are tied at 1 rack all. Meanwhile, Wizard Cheat is 5-3 up against Black Hole, but this is going to be our final match of the night, this match here, and then I'm going to bed. We'll watch the remainder of this match. So DJ Redo, who's player 1, is getting 6 and out, and Larry's going to have to play a tightish one down the right rail in this 5. Shouldn't be a problem, and he should be on the 6, no problem as well. Well, Larry's making life difficult for himself, I'll say that for him. He's got himself tight in the rail. Had to force the 8 ball to try and get back up for the 9, and, well, DJ Redo, if he takes his time, looks at the potting angle, he's got 1 ball for the rack. And in it goes. And that's the perils of giving somebody 6 and out. You're giving them all those money balls. The pressure's on the higher rated player not to make a single mistake when it comes to the business end of the rack. And Larry got himself out of line, left himself tight in the bottom rail, a long 8 ball, had to play it with power, and as soon as you send these balls into the jaws, they're going to hang up, they're going to rattle, and they're going to come out. So DJ Redo leads by 2 racks to 1, and he's played a pretty good safety there, but Larry will jump that. He's got plenty of room to go over the 4 and hit the 1. Oh, Well, it's not often you see Larry making many mistakes with a jump shot, but he's done it there. Now, DJ Redo, with ball in hand, is going for the 1-9 combo. Not an easy shot. But in it goes. So there we go. All of a sudden, Larry was looking good to take that last rack, or the previous one. Ends up blowing his chance. DJ Redo pots the 8 ball. Goes into a 2-1 lead, and then before you know it, DJ Redo's got a 1-9 combo. And he's 3-1 up, and Larry now is at the point of no return. And he's stuck behind the jaw in the 1 ball, so we can just play the push out. Well, was that the best of push outs there by Larry, because he's left a pot in the 1, or DJ Redo could stun the cue ball behind the 9. So I don't know what's going through Larry's head, but he's just given himself more problems to deal with. So Larry kicks at the 1. He's left a thin cut in the 1, although he can take it long, which he has done. DJ Redo going to have to play a bank in the 2. So here we are in a similar situation as the last rack, or the previous rack, sorry, the 1-2 racks before. This isn't an easy 2 ball. And it's not that easy to get on the 3. Got to play it delicate. And he couldn't get it delicate enough, so now he's just going to have to try and roll onto the 9 off this 3. Or is he going to try and get distance between them? Goodness knows what Larry's thinking. I think he's played a fairly good shot. This could cut in. Oh, he's got it too thin, but he's got it safe. Oh dear, well, Larry's fell short this time, didn't make it behind a 5, and more importantly he's left a 3 on. So DJ Redo has a chance to take the match. Get that cue ball out to the right hand side. Well, he's trying to do a lot of work with the cue ball, unnecessary work, and he's going to leave himself no shot in the 5. That was poor. He had a big area just to leave that cue ball in and pot the 5 from distance. Now he's going to try to take a 5 ball into the middle, and he's nowhere near it, but he's got it safe. And that chance that DJ Redo had there, if he just actually stopped and thought for a second about what he was doing, and what the simplest thing to do was to get to the 5. It was just to bring the, all he had to do was bring the cue ball out to here, somewhere here, anywhere here, rather than trying to get the cue ball around and down and all around the houses to get on the 5. If he'd done that, he would have been able to just pot the 5 and take the 6 into the right middle. And as it is, he's now watching Larry and hoping he misses to try and steal this match by Larry making a mistake, and I don't think Larry's going to make a mistake this time. But when you have the chance to make it simple and get the run out, why play something elaborate? And that's just blown it. That could be all the difference in this match. I mean, it could even be the case that DJ Redo has played his last shot in the match, because Larry could pot a ball in the break. He's potted the 2 and the 4. Okay, he's not sitting with a good shot in the 1, but well, what's he thinking? Is he thinking in cutting the 1 ball in between the 8 and the 9? Or cutting the 1 ball onto the 9. It's hard to say what Larry's thinking here. Is he playing the bank? I don't know whether he's quite made his own mind up here. Well, he knows he's going to be in the 3, so he's probably going to play the bank. And that needs to keep going. If it misses a jaw, I think it's going to get there. Is it? Not quite. And DJ Reader can see the 1, but it was deep in the pocket, and that was always going to be the problem. Out with a jump stick. He gets a 3. How's his luck in the 5? Pretty good. So this 5 ball and get on the 6, and it's not a great angle to get in the 6. It'd be better just potting it and leaving the 6 at distance from the left hand side of the table as we look. And this time he's used his common sense. So DJ Redo, a simple enough cut on the 6 ball. It's not difficult for the match. And in it goes, and DJ Redo wins the match by 4 racks to 2, and that ends Larry's participation in tonight's tournament. So with that, folks, I'm afraid we have reached the end of the line for me. The tournament bracket's about to update. DJ Redo moves on, and on the winner's side, Stefan is just about to play Wizard Cheat. Wizard Cheat won his match against Black Hole by 7 racks to 4. And in the match against Stefan, Wizard Cheat is getting a 6 and out, and Stefan's going to struggle with that one. That's a tough one to try and win. So with that note, folks, I will bid you a good night, and thanks for those that are watching. And no doubt we will see you again sometime. It is bedtime for me.